Drake returned it to Chris with a note reading, "I'm still Rihanna," leading to the
Jesus, the fucker has issues. This is grooming, right? Like, I'm not tripped. This is what grooming is. Before we do this Destiny shit, should we watch the fuck, what are their names? Aubin Preach video? Should we watch that? Cause that really changed my opinion. I was like, oh fuck. After this, I can't listen to Drake anymore. Dude, I don't want to like react to somebody's reaction. That shit is annoying. But as we wait, let's watch this Drake shit.
When did you first meet him?
You guys can hear it?
Women's high school basketball.
Can you imagine if there was a grown man where throughout his adulthood, well into his 20s and now into his late 30s, he's consistently caught just being really interested in teen girls?
You cannot text a 14-year-old girl, "I miss you so much."
We've seen so
Facts.
many examples of this behavior from
One of
them.
the few times we will be agreeing with H3H3 on this platform.
If I said to you, I was texting a 14-year-old girl saying, "I miss you so much," would you not think that's weird?
What does he say? About boys. He helps me.
I like the little owl.
Drake's
That was
rise
funny.
to success is nothing short of impressive. With over 170 million records sold and 193 awards, 36-year-old Drake is ranked as the highest certified digital singles artist in the United States. From his radio-friendly hits to his nice guy image, it's rare to hear anything
Nice
negative
guy.
about the artist. However, over the past 14 years, a pattern has emerged, leading to some fans questioning what's going on behind the scenes. The conversation started when footage from a 2010 Drake concert began circulating the internet. Footage where a 23-year-old Drake invites a girl from the crowd on stage, dances with her, smells her hair, massages her shoulders, puts his arms around her, and then starts to kiss her
His eyes are too far apart. That's a very good assessment. You're absolutely right.
neck. He then says that he's going to get carried away.
Bro, this is a Team Kendrick cult, bro. If you are a Drake fan, like, I'm gonna say this, right? Everybody kind of we all appreciate Drake's music, right? But if you're really like Drake, if you're one of these people that's like, Drake's my favorite artist, his music saved my life, if you're one of these people, you are a loser. There's no other way to say it. You are a soulless, basic loser. You better be under the age of, I'll say 16 to be generous, but really like 12. If you really are like, Drake changed his lyrics, there's no depth to anything Drake has ever said. Drake is a 40-year-old man that talks about getting cheated on by Instagram models. He is a fucking clown. And he also is probably a pedo, so nah.
Before asking
Sorry.
how old she is.
How old are you?
Drake walks away while
Exactly.
making a joke about going to jail before turning back to her and saying, 17? Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all of this. He continues saying, I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I
Oh shit, my bad. I keep fucking doing this shit, my bad.
like the way your feel against my chest. He then kisses her on the cheek as well as her forehead before ending the bit and continuing the show. Now, it's understandable that this was crowd interaction gone wrong, but him continuing to make sexual comments about her body and kissing her multiple times after learning her age had some fans raising their eyebrows. However, this wouldn't be the last time Drake finds himself around minors. In a 2023 No Jumper interview with producer Lil Cece, she discusses how she first met Drake, saying that in 2015 she was
Ben, exactly, right?
on a high school basketball team, and Drake, being a fan of women's high school basketball, followed both her teams.
Who in the fuck is a fan of high school women's basketball? When I was in high school, when I would watch the females basketball team, I wanted to kill myself. That's just me.
Teammate and
I'm sure this was a good team, but still weird.
herself.
I was her teammate, so he followed me because of her.
At the time, Drake would have been 29. The same year,
Yeah,
Drake
you better have a fucking family member on the team, or just really that's it, or be in the NBA. And even that's weird. Yeah, that you have to be related to somebody on the team or be on the team.
post on Instagram
Or be in high
celebrating
school.
the release
That's
of
it.
Baka Not Nice, a rapper, friend, and member
Golly.
of Drake's record label, OVO, following a stint in jail for allegedly forcing a 22-year-old
Michael,
woman
exactly,
into
that's about it.
prostitution, a weapons charge, and human trafficking. The now deleted post read, "Something in the air today. A lot of good things happen."
Golly, just like look at this cringy motherfucker. Drake has always just been the dude who's like wanted to fit into the culture but can't because he's cringy. But he just stayed along. He stayed in the industry long enough where everyone's like, all right. I remember when I was in high school, if you told kids that you listened to a Drake album, they were gonna look at you like you were a bitch. But now, anytime Drake drops an album, everybody listens to it. No shame. But there was shame associated to his name, and people do need to remember that.
Happening at once, but this one means the most. Been waiting 11 months. Baka finally home. 1 year later, in May of 2016, 29-year-old Drake was spotted eating dinner with 18-year-old Hailey Bieber in West Hollywood. Due to their allegedly flirty interaction and Drake wearing a matching H necklace, rumors of them dating began circulating, with Entertainment Tonight even alleging that the two hooked up at Drake's Memorial Day party. However, during this time, Hailey did an interview with News, revealing that she'd known Drake for around 4 years at this point, meaning that a 25-year-old Drake first met Hailey when she was just 14. A big part of the conversation here is, why does Drake routinely find himself around 14 to 17-year-old girls? What does it?
Exactly. I don't know if he's touching them when they're young. I wouldn't put it past him, but he's, from this video, seems like dude is a groomer, allegedly. Just so I don't get sued, but I do think he is that.
25-year-old man have in common with a 14-year-old. And wouldn't it feel weird to date someone you've always known to be a child right after they legally become an adult? In 2018, a now 32-year-old Drake released a song titled Nice for What, featuring the line, "High school pics, you was even bad then."
Yikes!
2 months later, on July 22nd, an article titled, "What would you do if your teenager became an overnight Instagram sensation?" was released by The Guardian, detailing a story about 16-year-old Charlie D'Alessio going viral on Instagram after being tagged in pictures at Coach.
If you're defending this, you have problems. Me and Kahmal would always joke about this, like Drake fans, how fucking like dorky they are.
Coachella. The article describes the photos as Charlotte wearing.
Mom, stop telling me how many people are watching. I never want to know. That's why I have the numbers off.
Bodysuits,
thank you though.
Tops,
my mom is texting me saying you guys need to like this stream more.
And jean shorts. Her mother,
Tell
Christina
them.
Ford, recounts the moment she realized how popular the photos were making her daughter, saying they were in the back of the car chatting away and checking in on social to say they were in Toronto, just like normal teenagers. And then suddenly Madison was like, "Oh God, it's Drake FaceTiming us. Should I answer?" As Ford drove on, listening to her daughter and her friend chatting away in the back seat with one of the biggest hip-hop stars on the planet, she felt the world as she knew it shifting on.
I have to go back. I'm sorry.
Away in the back seat with one of the biggest hip-hop stars on the planet.
Also, this outfit, unacceptable. I don't care what year it was.
She felt the world as she knew it shifting under the wheels of her car. Harry? I thought, okay, she's hanging
Adam, welcome to the fucking cult. Welcome.
out with Drake. I guess this is for real. Later that month, Drake would release a song titled Jaded, featuring the line, "We coulda waited. I wasn't Russian. Differences in ages. You're old enough, but you're still a baby." And
come to Indonesia, bro. Are you being for real? Because that's the plan. 2025 is the year of Asia.
2 months later in September, 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown would attend the Emmys and mentioned in a red.
My aunt said they'd be blowing shit up there. Is that true? I feel like that's not true. I looked it up. I didn't see anything. It seems like the place to be, though.
Carpet interview that her and 32-year-old Drake text after meeting each other in Australia after he invited her to his concert, and that their conversations mostly consist of Drake giving her boy advice and saying how much they miss each other.
We just texted each other the other day and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more."
This was the first time Drake's pattern of being around underage girls really began circulating online. Many people speculating what's
like what did they say? Drake was 32 at this time. I'm 28. There is not a morsel, a fucking atom, a neuron in my body that makes me want to speak to a 14-year-old child. I remember when I was 23, and I was talking to this 19-year-old girl. I wanted to fucking kill myself. She was so annoying. All her and her friends were so fucking annoying. I was like, I have to get out of here. These people are dreadful. They're so stupid and young. I can't handle it. So talking to a 14-year-old, talking about I miss you, weird as fuck. I don't care how chill she is, how cool she is, what dance moves she hits, what TV shows she's on. That is unacceptable. Weird ass behavior. I like Stranger Things too, but I'm not a creep like that.
Someone with an 18-year age gap can really have in common.
I'm 34 years old. Yeah. If I said to you, I was texting a 14-year-old girl saying, "I miss you so much," and she was replying to me, "I miss you more," would you not think, hold on here a second, that's weird?
Yeah, especially when you got a history. If it's a one-off, still weird, but maybe you get a slide, depending on how good the music is, alright? But when there's a pattern, nah.
They would take to Instagram and defend Drake, saying, "Why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird, for real. I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do.
Adam.
Now get back to talking about real problems in
And look, if you're close in age, then obviously sure, but
this world, other
I think I was like 23 and she was 19 and we just hung out once and I was like, this is horrible.
than my friendships."
So being like 28 or 32 and talking to a, oh my god, no.
Jeez.
Like what are you talking about? What are you talking about with this child who could be in middle school? What do you have to talk about with this middle school child? What are you texting about? The fuck? It's weird.
However, a month later, as Drake was on tour, blind items began circulating, with people speculating who the noted foreign-born A-plus list singer/rapper could be. A year later, on November 25th, 2019, 17-year-old Billie Eilish sat down for an interview with Vanity Fair and revealed that one of the most famous people in her phone is Drake. She would go on to say that Drake is like the nicest dude I've ever spoken to. I mean, I've only like texted him, but he's so nice. Like, he does not need to be nice. You know what I mean? Between the Millie Bobby Brown interview and now this one with Billie Eilish, some people really started.
I will say the Billie Eilish one bothers me less because at least they're like in the same music industry, or they're both in the music industry. I said the same music industry. Holy shit.
To question
I'm tired.
why a now 33-year-old man is in contact with so many children, pointing out that if you remove the celebrity
long
status
list.
of everyone, this sort of relationship would never be supported. On October 1st, 2020, Drake rapped on 21 Savage's song, Mr. Right Now, saying the line, "Yeah, said she wanna fuck to some SZA. Wait, cause I used to date SZA back in 08. In 2008, Drake would have been 22, and SZA would have just been 17. In a tweet, SZA confirmed that they did date, but insisted that their dynamic didn't involve anything underage or creepy. However, the following September,
Oh, well, okay, well, there you go.
35-year-old Drake released an album titled Certified Lover Boy, with a song titled Poppy's Home, featuring the line, "Sierra Canyon parking lot looking like a Magic City parking lot."
I don't know what the fuck that means, but apparently this motherfucker just be telling on himself.
Turned heads, as Sierra Canyon is a private school in California that offers classes for pre-K to 12th grade students, and Magic City
Christ.
is a strip club in Atlanta. As the album contains 21 songs, and Drake was beefing with Kanye West at the time, it's not surprising that this single line managed to be overlooked. It's entirely possible that Drake really is just a nice guy, and perhaps his
Sure.
pattern of talking to underage entertainers is innocent, as he was somewhat of a child star himself. However, dating someone you've known since they were a minor as soon as they turn 18 is bizarre, and no one other than a celebrity would get a pass for this pattern.
Is that not grooming?
Follow-
Is that not like the definition of grooming? He said he followed that one girl in high school. Like, if I'm famous as fuck, right? If I'm Drake famous and I follow a young girl who's in high school, if I follow her on Instagram, I know what I'm doing. I know what that means. She knows what that means. Like, I know how big of a deal that is to her. I'm not just like a normal dude who works at Walmart. I'm Aubrey Graham, Drizzy Drake. Big deal. This is grooming, right? Like, I'm not tripped. This is what grooming is, allegedly. I don't know how this is not grooming. At least like in the court of the public.
Following high school
Adam
women's
said I'll say it for you.
basketball as a 29-year-old isn't a common thing, nor is telling a 14-year-old how much you miss them when you're 32 and bear no relation. Women who claim to have hooked up with Drake all detail a similar, elaborate setup involving security guards, NDAs, getting copies of their licenses, and taking their phones away. So the possibility of a whistleblower coming forward is pretty low, but perhaps in the future, as these child and young adult celebrities often found around Drake grow up, we'll get a clearer idea of what their relationship was really like. Despite Drake's nice guy reputation, his security team has a controversial history. During Drake's first headline tour in 2010, a fan by the name of Jeremy Soriano claimed that one of Drake's bodyguards punched him in the mouth when he tried to compliment
GB, where is that? I'm uneducated.
Drake at a club in Jacksonville, Florida. During an interview with
What the fuck?
Box 30,
PDD
Jeremy alleged
just light skin? I mean, maybe. It's
that
not
Drake
looking
proceeded
good.
to push him and that he had to get 6 stitches by the end of the night. A friend of the victim, who was also a witness, alleges that following the incident, as Drake entered his tour bus, he flipped both of them off and said, "You're nothing." 2 years later, Drake and his team were involved in a massive brawl at a New York City club with Chris Brown, after Chris sent Drake a bottle of champagne as a peace offering. At the time, Chris Brown had been separated from Rihanna for 3 years, and as Drake was hanging around her a lot, Chris figured the gesture would help clear the air. However, according to New York Daily News, after receiving the bottle of champagne, Drake returned it to Chris with a note reading, "I'm still Rihanna," leading to the
Jesus. The fucker has issues.
two groups throwing bottles and glasses at each other. Afterwards, photos of staff members cleaning the glass off the floors emerged, and Drake's team released a statement
Poor staff members just gotta clean up all this bullshit because people are so fucking crazy.
insisting that Drake wasn't involved in the brawl at all. According to TMZ, in 2016, a server at the popular Hollywood nightclub Delilah claimed that he was punched in the face by one of Drake's bodyguards because he
Nice.
wouldn't get out of the bathroom so Drake could come in and use it in private.
Wow, I hope that's not true, but, you know, probably is.
According to Insider.com, the server sued the restaurant, the rapper, and Cleveland Browns wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., over the incident. The victim also alleges that Drake ordered the beating after making a throat cut gesture to his entourage. In a video leaked to TMZ, the victim can be seen on security camera before being punched in the face by a member of Drake's security, while others soon join in on the attack, all while Drake watches. Following the attack and the lawsuit, other employees of Delilah were allegedly afraid to return to work. The next year in 2017, Drake's security team would go viral after a dashcam recording showed them bullying a driver on a street in Toronto, forcing them to the side of the road so that Drake's entourage could bypass traffic. After a driver complained, Drake's bodyguard threatened them, saying he'll take his Tesla. That same year, Shawn Mendes would appear on an episode of The Tonight Show and describe his encounter with Drake's security at a weekend concert. According to his story, Shawn Mendes, having previously met Drake a couple days prior, attempted to say hi to him at the show. However, Drake's bodyguard allegedly stopped him before he even had a chance to do so, saying, "The next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the weekend show with my arm hooked behind my back. Drake's security guard had me completely at his mercy." He went on to say that Drake saw what happened and told his bodyguard to let him go, saying, "Don't do that, you don't know who that is." And in 2021, a video went
I mean, that's not a huge deal.
viral,
Not
alleging
great.
a member of Drake's security team was on drugs and barking at people.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was a part where I knew Drake's security was throwed off. I said, "You good, man?" That nigga looked at me and said, "Row."
After going over some of these less than stellar moments, it becomes easier to understand how Drake has managed to keep up his nice guy image over the past 14 years of his career, as it seems as though the musician surrounds himself with a large group of people to keep attention off of him by carrying out actions
Right? I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is that Drewski?
on his behalf.
I don't want to. Alright, well, that was fucking weird. Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, Drake equals pedo.